Petzing is just one of the Arizona Cardinals issues. And I'm not going to be someone that blames everything on him because it's just not true. Plus, a deep dive into Devin Booker's struggles because I get in a lot of trouble for it. And I don't know. I want to poke some bears today on the Ben Garcia Show.
The Ben Garcia Show. Yeah. Best show in the land. Yup. Listen. Come and get your information from Ben Garcia. Get the latest on your quarterback, running backs, and receivers. Tune in, so any other show you don't need him. Any news that he giving out, please just believe him. Giving out the latest prediction and top-notch analysis. Wanna hear the truth, better have thick skin like callus. The latest move that your team just made can be damaging. The dudes ain't speaking no facts, they just be rambling. Lights, camera, action, turn on the show. Go get the cameraman. Yeah. Lights, camera, action, turn on the show. Go get the cameraman. The Ben Garcia Show.
What is up, and welcome into yet another edition of the Ben Garcia Show. Wherever you guys may be listening, however you guys may be listening, thank you so much for making this show a part of your day. Do me a big favor. It helps me out a lot. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment. Tell me why you love me. Preferably tell me why you hate me, because I always find those very funny. And appreciate you guys being here on a Thanksgiving Eve of the Ben Garcia Show. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Here's, you guys are not that interested in my life. So I promised you I'll keep it short. You guys want the sports content. You want my opinions. And you don't want much more of that. You're not really interested in my daily living. But what I will say is, I'm always very busy. I'm always very busy. If I could sit there on social media and get back to all of you all the time, I would. If I ever see a new listener, a new subscriber, I make sure to really go out of my way to say what's up. But I got to tell you, man, I am gassed. I am so gassed. And so I thought it'd be fun to, I thought maybe today I'd be like, you know what? I'll mail it in today. We'll do a show on Friday. I'll cancel today. But that's not fair. I've already canceled a show once this month because I was sick with COVID. We're not doing that. We got things we got to do. And I've been up since 4 a.m. I've already played a couple of games of 5-on-5 basketball. I've already got my lift in for the day. We are, gassed up and ready to go. I've got my Starbucks in one hand. Starbucks, I'm going to be honest with you. Not a sponsor of the show. Not great. It's not great. It's not great. It's overpriced coffee, and it ain't that great. Last thing I'll say before we dive into the meaty content. It is Thanksgiving. We are in the season of giving thanks. For all of you that have been tuning in to the Ben Garcia Show for a little over 2 years now, whether you're new, whether you're old, thank you. Not oftentimes, every day I beat myself up off of, did I do enough? Did I get 1% better today? Did I get a 0.1% better today? So whether you're tuning into the Ben Garcia Show, whether you're tuning into Locked On Phoenix Suns, I couldn't be more thankful. One day I hope this becomes my full-time job. I think I have the drive and the talent to do it, but ultimately that's up to you guys. So thank you for continuously doing that. So please hit that like, share, subscribe button, and follow me on all social media platforms. And Thanksgiving, one of my favorite holidays. 4th of July is number 1 for me. Thanksgiving is 2. I love the Christmas season. I hate the, what house are we going to? What gifts are we getting? I hate that part. I actually am not a big fan of Christmas Day. Big fan of everything before Christmas. Love the Christmas season. So with that being said, guys, thank you for making this show a part of your day. I will get to everyone's questions at the end of the show, like regularly scheduled. And so for my guy Brian, Ernesto, Saul, you guys here early. I'm sure the chat will get rocking a little bit later on, but again, thank you. Let's start with the Arizona Cardinals. A lot of people get really frustrated with the way that the Arizona Cardinals deal with the press conferences and go up at the podium, and oftentimes we're not really sure what they're saying. And I've never been one to really care. I hope I'm not exposing this guy, because he's a very nice person. We DM semi often. I don't even know what that means, but not super often. Every now and then we'll send each other a DM. And Mr. AZ Sports, the guy that does like the food stuff, really rides the fan lane hard. That's kind of his thing. And no shade on that. That's awesome. That's the way he's done it. But he's DM'd me before, like the way the Cardinals handle, and I'm paraphrasing, the way the Cardinals handle press conferences like drive me nuts. And I said to him, yeah, I couldn't really care less. That's kind of the fan angle of it all. Like, why won't you tell us the truth? Why won't you tell us who's starting? Why won't you tell us what's actually going on? Why won't you tell us this, and that, and the other? I've accepted since the Bruce Arians era, you're not going to get anything in press conferences. It's why I hardly ever play Cardinals sound on this show, because oftentimes we're not getting a real answer. Do I really think Jonathan Gannon and Drew Petzing are that stupid to defend a 4th down and 3 play call where you took a shot downfield where you were basically already in field goal range to your practice squad wide receiver, to your undrafted wide receiver? No, I do not. And I think it's disingenuous for fans and other media members to be like, I mean, come on. You don't see it? Like, they see it, guys. They're just not interested in throwing people under the bus. That is one of the things about Jonathan Gannon and Drew Petzing. That's one thing about Jonathan Gannon and this coaching staff that the players love. They will play stupid to protect the players. That is a pro players head coach thing. Like, one of the things I like to do here is not just give my opinion, but try to teach. Like, I'm supposed to be the expert. You are the people that come to this show and thankfully listen to me ramble for a half an hour Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 a.m. But I'm here to tell you they're not that stupid. They're not. It's like a kid with, cookie all over their face trying to tell the parent that they have no idea where the cookies in the cookie jar went. They're lying to you. They're so clearly lying to you. They will give you the shortest of answers because they're not interested in giving you anything. It sucks if you're a media member. It gives me nothing to work with. But people get so frustrated. Have you never been lied to before? Have you never been lied to before? They're lying to you. They're not telling you the truth. So when you go check out other shows, and people will take the angle of, they really think that was a good play call? No, they don't. They don't. But what do you want them to say? Like, here's what Drew Petzing and Jonathan Gannon wanted to say. Hey, Benjamin Garcia, Ben Garcia Show Productions. What did you guys think of that play call on 4th and 4? Here's what Jonathan Gannon and every other coach on the coaching staff would say if they had truth serum. Well, I mean, Jacoby's got to make a much better read. I mean, I'm not sure what he was looking at. We got Trey McBride in the middle of the field, maybe double covered, but it's still a better shot than throwing it to Xavier Weaver, our 5th string wide receiver and undrafted 2nd-year player. Like, yeah, just a boneheaded play. Got to know the better down and distance in that play. Yes, that's what they want to say. And they've had those conversations internally. But what does that headline look like if Jonathan Gannon is already blaming players? If Drew Petzing is already blaming players? That's what Steve Wilkes did for like 8 straight weeks before he got fired. Well, we had a great game plan. The players just aren't executing. I remember that to a T. Oftentimes he would, or not even often, all the time, Steve Wilkes would get to the podium and say, yep, had a great game plan. The players just didn't execute. His favorite word was execute. And then 10 weeks later, his job was executed. Because players don't like that. They don't. It's like when you're a kid and you know you're in trouble, but the parents give you the decency of not beating your butt right there in the middle of the grocery store. Yeah, there's a little bit of anxiety on the way you get home. Trust me, it's the way I was raised. And I'm not saying, just so we're clear, I don't think that's the right way to go about it. I also don't think gentle parenting is the right way to go about it. But beating your kids, probably not. I'm going to go with that, probably not the best thing to do. But they save you the embarrassment. Like, do I want to hear something different? Yes. Yes, I do. But it just oftentimes is not going to come. Because it takes a boiling over point that is to the point of no return. Once you hear Jonathan Gannon start blaming players, start being honest in press conferences, he's gone. Because that means he's feeling the pressure. One of the reasons why I believe that Jonathan Gannon will be back next year, one of the reasons I think Drew Petzing might be back next year, although it's a terrible idea, is that in these press conferences that people are losing their mind over because they can't grasp with reality that no one on this coaching staff is being honest intentionally in press conferences. They don't actually think that a 4th and 4 play call to your undrafted second-year player was your undrafted 5th-string second-year player is a good play call on 4th and 4, trying to get it all in one play. They don't actually think it's a good idea. But one of the reasons why I think that they're going to be back regardless, maybe Drew Petzing is gone. But one of the reasons why I'm like 100% certain it doesn't matter what happens that Jonathan Gannon will be back next year is because in the press conferences, they aren't playing the blame game. They aren't trying to save their job. Jonathan Gannon, to me, does not feel any heat. Because if he did, in these press conferences, he'd try to get the media on his side. But right now, he doesn't need to. Because what does he care? He's got Michael Bidwell's support. That's the only person that can fire him. But Jonathan Gannon is still taking all the arrows. Yep, it's on me. Got to be better. Jacoby Brissett, 4th and 4. Hail Mary throw into double coverage to your undrafted 5th-string second-year wide receiver. Yep, like the play. He's saying that to protect his players. He's saying that because he doesn't feel the heat of Michael Bidwell breathing down his throat or breathing down his neck to fire him. He doesn't feel the pressure. If he felt the pressure, he'd probably say, Jacoby Brissett's got to make a better read, take the check down. In that situation, that can't happen. But he doesn't feel that. He doesn't. Once Jonathan Gannon starts coming out in press conferences and defending himself and going after players, that's when I'll start to feel like, oh, you're trying to save your job. But he's not trying to save his job right now. He knows it's safe. And again, like I'm not saying it's the right or wrong thing to do. I'm just telling you what my perception of it is. So when you're getting pissed off at the pressers that, look terrible, keep in mind they're lying to you. They're not being serious about anything. Because if they were, they would go the Steve Wilkes route of praising your game plan, blaming the players. And Steve Wilkes got fired very quickly because he felt the heat, he felt the pressure. Jonathan Gannon doesn't feel that pressure. He doesn't feel like he needs to. So that's what it is. That's what that is. I think Drew Petzing gets fired. I think. And actually, just so we're clear, like I don't think Drew Petzing gets fired, obviously. I think Drew Petzing's contract is not renewed at the end of the year. But from what I'm seeing from Jonathan Gannon, he seems like he's a coach coaching with absolutely no pressure on him. None. And it tells me he's going to be back next year, for better or for worse. And I'm not going to lie to you. I can't act like I hate it. I don't think there's much better you could do right now. And I think he has earned the right, for now. If they lose out, you got to fire JG. Even though I'm kind of rooting for them to lose out, which kind of puts me in both camps here. Because I just want the quarterback. If they lose out, he has to get fired. He has to. You can't survive those optics. Especially with a season where they were supposed to be a borderline playoff team, but couldn't win 5 games. So I'd assume he's gone. Here's the other thing to my guy Saul in the chat. If he's so wrong, then who's the problem? I think that's towards me. I'll get to all your guys' questions at the end of the show as well. Drew Petzing is a problem. He's a problem. But it's such a low-hanging fruit take that everything is on Drew Petzing. This season is very similar to the Phoenix Suns season last year. Like, I think it's very easy, low-hanging fruit to say, well, everything was Kevin Durant's fault. I mean, come on. And to an extent, Kevin Durant was at fault. Injuries, which, yeah, I mean, like, you got to stay healthy. What's the best ability? Availability. Leadership. He says he doesn't want to be a leader, so, like, also that's not necessarily his fault because the Suns still traded for that. And he advocated for the absence of DeAndre Ayton and advocated for the acquisition of Bradley Beal. Those are both documented. Please don't lie about it. Do a Google search. Do a Google search, even though Kevin Durant came after me for that, which, okay, Katie, okay. Just like how Drew Petzing plays a hand in all the Cardinals' problems, Kevin Durant also played a hand in all the Suns' problems. But it's low-hanging fruit. Because, yeah, was Kevin Durant 20% of the problem last year? Yes. But the other problem was Budenholzer is an incompetent head coach. James Jones was a bad GM. Josh Bartelstein had his hand in a lot of this team. Bradley Beal acquisition, getting nearly nothing for DeAndre Ayton and trading Toumani Camara. Like, there were pieces of the pie. Drew Petzing has a piece in blame pie. How big is that piece? How big is that heaping slice of blame pie? I'd argue it's 25%. But also some of it is Kyler Murray. I had someone say to me yesterday, the Kyler Murray hate is out of control. Oh, you mean the guy who was 2-3 with a healthier version of this roster? Well, that was Emari DeMercado. If he just runs it in, he scores a touchdown. Sure. Also beat Cam Ward. Well, special teams lost the Cardinals that game. Sure. Also in the special teams lost the Seattle Seahawks game. Okay, well, sure. Maybe don't wait till the fourth quarter to get your offense going. Like, some of it is on Petzing. Some of it is on Kyler. Some of it is on injuries. Some of it is defensive lapses late in games. Some of it is James Conner's gone. Some of it is the right tackle sucks. Some of it is the offensive line outside of Yoda Froholtz and Paris Johnson Jr. is awful. Like, don't be the person that's like, oh, get rid of this guy. Here's another thing that I hate what people do. I like poking fun at players and coaches because they make millions of dollars a year. You're allowed to do that. Well, that's a little mean. I don't care. There is like a crossing a line barrier of like what's funny and what's just awful. And this is something that's been on my chest for a while. You know exactly what I'm talking about, but I don't even want to mention this stuff. But for all sports, the like evil references of like World War II war crimes people, like people who committed war crimes, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And like photoshopping those people on that or using AI, it's such a loser thing to do. And it's super, like I've been recently doing, I just got interested in like some of the World War II stuff. And it's like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Do you really need likes and retweets that bad? Recently, over the last couple months, my social media has been exploding. And likes and retweets aren't that cool, man. It's so weird. Sorry. That's like the one thing where I'm like, when people Photoshop, that one's really like, you can, Photoshop him looking at a clipboard and there's nothing there. That's fine. Calling people like evil people is It's crazy, man. And I love a good joke. That's crossing the line. But whatever. Like, I really don't like that stuff. But again, whatever. It's not all in Petzing. It's not all in Petzing. And the question should be, should Drew Petzing get fired at the end of the year? Should Drew Petzing's contract not be renewed at the end of the year? Yes, 100%. He is not all the problem, but he is a big part of the problem. The offense has looked significantly better with Jacoby Brissett. Well, that's not fair. The offense has looked better under Jacoby Brissett. That feels like it's indisputable. Jacoby Brissett's statistics are pretty good. With that being said, the play calling at times makes you scratch your head. It makes you scratch your head at times. It's not complicated. It's not intelligent. He needs to be gone. But just like how I mentioned on Monday that all your problems won't be solved when Jonathan Gannon is gone, all your problems won't be solved when Drew Petzing's gone. There are legitimate concerns on this team. Right tackle, injuries, defensive lapses late in games. It's not all on Petzing. My job is I want to make people smarter too. It's easy to just blame someone and have a scapegoat, but hold the rest of the team accountable too. So move on from Drew Petzing. Absolutely. And situational awareness from my guy Ian in the chat. Ian, I'll get to your questions at the end of the show. It's absolutely true. So like you do need to move on. I'm not advocating for Drew Petzing. Get him out of here. I just think it's been a little unfair, the dialogue that has come with Drew Petzing. Let's move on to the Phoenix Suns, because I want to dive into the struggles of Devin Booker that you guys know me. I'll dip my toes into the getting in trouble thing because you correctly point out what's wrong with Arizona's golden boy and Devin Booker. Here's what I'll say about Booker. He's a top 15 player in the NBA. I can't believe I have to say this every time. I can't believe you can't just criticize players. I had someone tell me, well, the way you speak about Booker sometimes, it's unfair. Do you know what he's done for this organization? Yeah, I do. And I also know what they've done for him. They gave him $75 million a year this past year, which, by the way, I advocated for. I advocated against trading him because it wouldn't have gotten any better. And because look at the Suns. Look at the Suns right now. Devin Booker is everything right about Arizona sports. He's a top 15 player. He should be an all-star this year. He's been awesome. But I had a really good conversation about this with John Voida on Locked On Phoenix Suns. You guys should go check that out. That got dropped yesterday night at 7. Devin Booker's struggles are a trend. They are not an anomaly. And it pisses me off when other shows point them out like a statistical anomaly because they're too scared of the backlash. Whatever. You call me whatever you hate. Ben, you hate Devin Booker. Okay. Sure. I mean, he's just right here. And it's, signed as well. So, really dislike Devin Booker. But whatever. Devin Booker's struggles are well documented against the bigger, lengthier players in the NBA. That is just well documented at this point. And I'm sick of acting like it's a fluke every time it happens. No one should be surprised Devin Booker had his worst game ever against a team that can line up with him and go pound for pound with him, toe-to-toe with him, especially when he doesn't have Jalen Green and Grayson Allen around him to help alleviate some of the pressure off ball. But when you have a team like the Minnesota Timberwolves that can send Jaden McDaniels over at Devin Booker and then set a screen and blitz him with Naz Reid and Jaden McDaniels and force him into a bad turnover, it's a trend because this happens often. Drew Holiday has done this to him. Those bigger, really good defensive players that can push him off his spots, lengthy players Drew Holiday, not as lengthy as the other two guys, but he still fits that mold. Jeremy Sohan, for the first half of that Suns game on Sunday, really got the best of Devin Booker. Monday, wow, surprise, surprise, Amen Thompson, lengthy, stronger, first-team all-defense player, got the best of Devin Booker at times. And then what happened when you sent a screen at Amen Thompson? They blitzed him with Jabari Smith Jr. Devin Booker's struggles are clearly well documented. It is not like an anomaly to say that this doesn't happen to star players, but it doesn't happen consistently with superstar players. You can't take Nikola Jokic out of a game consistently. You can't take Luka Doncic out of a game consistently. You can't take LeBron James in his prime out of a game consistently. Kevin Durant, Steph Curry. You can't do it. This is why I've always advocated Devin Booker's the best number 2 in the NBA. He ain't a 1. And it's not like a slight on Booker. He's awesome. He's a top 15 player in the NBA. I think that the top 8 players in the NBA are superstars. It's why I've said, I think Anthony Edwards is just better. How much better? Not much, but I think he's better. But I think he's better than Donovan Mitchell. But it's clear, there's a trend to this point. Stop being scared to say it. Those players eat Devin Booker's lunch. But even more than that, what happened? But was he terrible in the entire Milwaukee Bucks series in the finals? No. He had back-to-back 40-point games. So there's a solution to this. Guys need to get healthy. That game on Monday night against the Houston Rockets, where the Suns were gassed, they lost that game, whatever. Bleep happens. I didn't freak out over it. It amplified just how important Jalen Green is to this team. And not just Jalen Green, Grayson Allen. Because what the Houston Rockets could do is send blitzes, send double teams, oftentimes triple teams in the painted area, and make Devin Booker get rid of the ball. That is not a Devin Booker thing. That is injuries happen. Injuries happen. But you can take him out of a game. And some of this falls on Jordan Knott too. Jordan Knott has to be better about getting Devin Booker the ball. Jordan Knott has to be better that out of timeouts, having designed sets that get Devin Booker open. Part of it is get him an open shot so we can see one go down and kind of help alleviate him a little bit mentally. Because it's exhausting throwing 2-3 guys at him every play. So, is there a clear Devin Booker issue? Yes, but it's been here forever. Stop acting like you haven't seen it. But also, it falls on Jordan Knott to get him open. Scheme it open a little bit. Now, Jordan Knott is not a bad head coach. He's a very good head coach at this point in his career. He's a young head coach. He's got to do a better job of getting Devin Booker open. But also, it amplified just how important Jalen Green is. Just how important Grayson Allen is. Because the Houston Rockets don't have what the Timberwolves have, what the Bucks had in 2021, just a player in Jaden McDaniels or Drew Holiday that you can hunt him the entirety of a game and make someone else beat you. Do I think Devin Booker has his worst game ever against the Minnesota Timberwolves if Jalen Green and Grayson Allen play? No, because he can't send double and triple teams at him. He could find those guys, and they can get open. They can hit buckets. But it just amplified, one, how impressive Devin Booker and the Suns have been in this stretch, going 11-7 over their in their first 18 games while missing players. But also it amplified, hey, against these really good teams, you're going to need your guys. And when you get your guys, you can't send triple teams over at Devin Booker. You can't. And it's going to open up things for him. So, it's not all on Book. It's not all on Book. But there is one thing that is, you point at Devin Booker and say, you have to be better. You have to be better. One, the double and triple teams, I get it. Guys are injured. Two, Jordan Knott's got to help get him open. Three, sure, there is a little bit of Booker needs to figure out a way to get to his spots so he's not completely shut out of games. But here's the big one. 4, he can't turn over the ball at as high of a clip as he is turning over the ball. He is averaging a career high in turnovers. That is unacceptable. Part of the reason they lost that game against the Houston Rockets on Monday is because Devin Booker wasn't taking care of the ball. They would cut the lead down to 7, 6, 8, and it would shoot right back up to 14 points because of a costly Devin Booker turnover or Phoenix Suns turnover as a whole. They've got to take care of the ball more, and Devin Booker certainly needs to take care of the ball better. That is a not Jordan Ott issue, not injuries issue, that's a you issue. Quit panicking, get the ball out to someone. But these really bad turnovers that get teams out in transition and get easy buckets that don't allow you to set your defense, you've got to be better. You've got to be better there. And here's the really good part about that. It's very fixable. It's very fixable. It's not like he's consistently just throwing it to the other team with no conviction behind it. Just lackadaisical, silly passes. No. He's getting swamped and he's panicking and he's throwing bad passes. Those things can be fixed and it can be coached out of him. So, yes, does Devin Booker need to be better about turnovers? Yes. Will he? I think he will. Can it be coached out of him? Yes. But I just get tired of acting like you can't say anything and acting like you just hate Booker. There are some things he's got to be better at. And not turning over the ball in the most excruciating fashion is one of them. And the Suns have got the Kings tonight. I think they win. It's a scrappy Kings team. It's got talent. I think they win. But I'll tell you what, they play OKC on Friday. They're going to get their doors blown off if Grayson Allen doesn't play. And, they'll get Mark Williams back. Hopefully they get Grayson Allen back. Maybe they could get Ryan Dunn back. But, Jalen Green's still a month away. And he should be. That injury was no joke. All right, guys. Now's the part of the show where I take your guys' questions. And I give you guys life advice, which you didn't ask for. And I'll do it now. I don't actually give life advice if there's anyone new listening. I mean, I could give you life advice. I don't know how great it'd be because, young. Anyways, let's get to your guys' questions. This is the part of the show where I could slouch over a little bit because show's basically over. Assuming Kyler is being traded, who realistically would you see taking snaps for the Cardinals in the future if we don't have a top 3 pick? Jacoby Brissett. Next year will be a lost season. They'll start Jacoby Brissett, and they'll try to find their guy next year. But Jacoby, I think it's pretty clear it'll be Jacoby, and it'll suck because who the hell wants to cover Jacoby Brissett? Not me. There's people out there you advocated for this. Yeah, man. I remember standing outside the facility with a picket fence that said, I want to cover Jacoby Brissett. That's fun. A career-long backup. No. I'm falling more and more in love with Fernando Mendoza, though. But that might just be copium. I don't like Ty Simpson. I really don't like Ty Simpson. He's just a smaller version of Mac Jones. I don't know why people are so high on Ty Simpson. Also, who's the last great Alabama quarterback? Jalen Hurts. Stop. Jalen Hurts is not a great quarterback. And what do I mean by that? He's not an elite thrower of the football. Does he do other things? Does he have great intangibles? Yes. Is he a great leader? 100%. Good runner. And he can hit open guys. But there's a reason why last year when they won the Super Bowl, A.J. Brown, they were asked, what's wrong with the offense? And A.J. Brown would say the passing game. This year, why does their offense still suck? Maybe it's because Saquon Barkley isn't running for 5,000 yards. So I like Fernando Mendoza. I don't know, man. I think I like Dante Moore, but I'm not pounding the table for him. I think I'd be okay with just selecting the kid from Utah, right tackle. Brian, blame it on the producer. Here at the Ben Garcia Show Corporation, I joked with Eric Ruby and Steven Pajon Gardner and I forgot the producer's name, but I know they call him the Freckled Mamba at PHNX Sports when we played basketball together. I joked with them. I was like, here at the Ben Garcia Show Productions, I am the writer, CEO, host, general manager, all that stuff. And it's just funny. Brian, the fast starts today at noon. I'm going to consume 15,000 calories tomorrow. I'm not big on Thanksgiving food. I'm going to be honest with you. My Hispanic side comes out, more of a tamale guy. I like mashed potatoes. I like gravy. Like the food isn't bad. It's just, I don't even want to say it's overrated because I think that's a pretty popular take. Saul, let's go. Ben, what do you think the Cardinals received for Kyler? Second round pick. I want to say first round pick. Feels a little steep, but second round pick. I don't believe that they're just going to outright cut him. People keep acting like his contract's bad. It's like the 12th biggest contract in the NFL, and if you believe in him and he's a franchise quarterback, that's not bad at all. It's actually pretty good. Ernesto, happy Suns Day, Thanksgiving Eve. Yeah, we have a stupid Suns game at 8 p.m. tonight. That's dumb, and I'm only calling it stupid because it's at 8 and I like to sleep. And I woke up at 4 a.m. this morning. Let's see if we got anything else. I don't think we do. I think I'm good. What quarterback can the Cardinals draft that will make a difference, Ben? I think Fernando Mendoza. And for all the reasons I said before, I think Fernando Mendoza. I think he fits that trend. But we'll see. Just a big kid with a big arm. We'll see, though. We'll see. I think that's all we got today, guys. I don't want to keep you here if you don't need to be. Ham or turkey? How about neither, but I like both? Like, I have a turkey. I have a ham and cheese sandwich 10 times a week. So, like, I'll eat it, but, like, is it great? No, not good. My family does Mexican Thanksgiving. Dude. The Hispanic people, me, my people, the food is just so good. My people do food right. Anyways, guys, appreciate you guys being here. Before you guys leave, do me a favor. Just click the thumbs up button. It makes my life a whole heck of a lot more easier, and it makes me happy that I did this. I always feel happy that I did this, but still. That being said, hit the like, share, subscribe button. Follow me on all social media platforms at Ben Garcia Show. Guys, have an amazing Thanksgiving. It's my last Thanksgiving without a kid. Wonder what that's going to look like. We'll see. Appreciate you guys being here. Stay safe. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for being here. Stay safe. And have a happy freaking Thanksgiving so we can turn the page to Christmas season. The greatest season. Stay safe, guys. And let's watch some football. I'll see you guys on Friday, 8 a.m.